Gusto ng mga candies mo. Amin lang yung candies mo. Saan ko ito mabili? Ganda ito. Dapat tagayan ko ito na. Salin ko to. Salin ko sa maliit, ha?
Okay.
Kaya salin mo na kaya dito.
I don't know.
Ayaw ko sa kamama. Okay. Ano tayo?
Let us continue. Last we left off, we finished our investigation. And our investigation revealed just how much we didn't know. But hopefully, with the first day of trial, more info will be revealed.
Kaano ko pala si ano? Ngayon? Miles?
If you need any more info of what happened last time, there's always the court records. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there's still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big gray area.
Wala pa rin talaga sila.
Don't worry about me. No matter the outcome, I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Guy, you remind me a lot of Mia. There is one decisive difference between you and her, and that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Faye helping me. No one's going to bail me out this time. No Mia.
Wala na dyan sila, Faye? Tatlong Faye?
Yeah, wala pa sila. Maya's
pero
in
ano
her
sila?
spiritual training and stuff.
Si
Mia's fucking dead and we don't even know who Pearl is yet. That's the court record. Why did you click on the court records? Yes, you did. I'll be alone in there. So I had to discover the truth all by myself.
Dito ako bibilib. Kasi sa palabas, di ba sabi ko, hindi siya magaling kasi puro sila ano lang ang gumagawa, sila Faye.
Well, to be fair, the games are much the same. Mr. Wright is Phoenix is incompetent because we, as the players, are equally incompetent. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Alright.
Nakuha yung inside court.
10 o'clock
Pareho
a.m.
lang,
baby.
itsura.
Yeah, pretty much.
Kaya baliktad sila ng pwesto.
Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. That's because most of the time, we're in the viewpoint of the judge. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
Babae, nagtitinda.
The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Star, to the stand. A cough-up queen.
Bakit tinawag palang cup-up queen to?
Haven't I seen you somewhere?
Titindang lunchbox.
You ordered the caviar lunch, right? Oh, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. Yum 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 yum. The judge is really wolfing it down. Ah, and for you, I have a fiesta bowl.
Hindi masarap ng fiesta mo.
Thanks.
Masarap ng caviar.
Will the witness state her name and profession? I'm pretty sure they're salty. Ah, and you, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. It is 10 o'clock. That's what time we are in right now as well. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste?
Hello.
So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts! I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Oh yeah, this is like a running gag with Edgeworth. It doesn't happen in the anime, but in the video games it happens all the time. Edgeworth has trouble getting the witness to state their name and profession. Me, the name's Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Bruh. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth said to the court, I am a professional. Uh-huh. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective.
Wow.
What? Miss Star was a detective? What's with everyone being a used-to-be detective from 2 years ago? Ah! I know who you are! Cough up! Cough up Queen Angel Star, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well. You may continue with the description, Miss Star. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. Alright, witness testimony time. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. The A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. Still remember this place, right? I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutors' spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. It's in the court record now. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush that little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star. Wait, are they talking about me? Yes, it's always like this. It's tradition now. Witness account. Witness testimony time. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand.
Kaya talaga niya.
That's what we're trying to find out. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend. How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
Yan, hindi ako na-excite kung paano
Alright, cross-examination. Here's the main part of the trial proceedings.
Yeah.
It's time to look across the testimony and stuff. So you can go click on the left and right to go back or forward with the testimony. If you think something is wrong with the testimony, you can try presenting evidence and present the evidence you think contradicts the testimony.
Sige, simulan natin.
It's all up to you now.
Dito pala nakakaalis na eh. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come.
Sometimes witnesses are very vague with their testimonies and stuff.
Nadayaan ako.
Usually, that is when you try pressing for more information. Usually, there's no risk of doing that. So yeah,
Press?
you'd like to try pressing every bit of testimony
Yeah.
usually
Kaya
before you try presenting evidence. So let's do that.
Press?
Yeah, sure. Every testimony counts. How did you know? I respected the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is dully noted. Julie. I'm pretty sure it's dully. I don't know. Given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Edgeworth did it like that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors?
Yeah.
I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator.
Piling ko ito killer eh. Di ba parati naman kung sino witness?
What about the prospector guy? That's his name. The sheriff guy.
Ah, siya yung boyfriend. Piling ko. Please.
I already said it. And if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. 2 years ago, maybe. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms.
Galit siya talaga.
That said, I am a pro. As you know, my testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Tar. Hold it. This boyfriend, he's a detective?
Yeah, si ano to eh. Si Wild Wild West.
Yeah. Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? Bruh, the yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches things. Note to self, the judge had to think before applying. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second level as you can see everything. So you can see everything from there. Up above.
Andun ang office sa second level?
Yep.
It's up on the second level.
It's got a mirror.
So
You can see everything from there. Yep. Since it's pretty high up. That'd be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunch boxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So, she was in B block when she witnessed the crime? When I stand something. Well, I don't usually. Just press as usual. Since I already sent them during the testimony. You sent something, so you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like, how would you say, oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. A young cheese? A pale white cheese not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Then it must be a hard yellow then sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. Nice. In any case, there in the old lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. My garage car, you mean?
Pardon me, Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed with was also Mr. Edgeworth's. Wasn't it?
Gusto rin pala niya ipahamak si Edgeworth eh. Pilit
Yep.
nga siya sa prosecutor.
She hates all the prosecutors. Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it is the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. She's telling the truth. We're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter. Crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside.
Wow, sarap.
That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism. I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. Picture! A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snapped. I took a picture. Damn. In fact, one of my lunch boxes is rigged with a camera. Bruh.
No?
I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Well, damn. How incriminating. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Sky. So, what was the defendant doing at the time? Well, that was important.
May hawak bang knife? Parang wala naman ah.
Well, it's her testimony. She didn't take a pic. You didn't press the other in
Right?
stuff. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make
Balik
it.
natin.
Yeah, you said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Star's testimony is flawless.
Hindi, paano natin babalik dun sa ano? Hindi natin na-press.
Yeah, hold on. Just let Emma finish. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that! Alright, it was the last two that you missed, that you failed to press.
Paano? Dito ako mag-press?
Nah, just go forward until you get to the correct ones. There we go. This is the one, I believe. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife after all.
Binidiin niya talaga rin si Edgeworth, no?
Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are by nature well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor? So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime.
Oo naman. Tama.
You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point.
Di ba sabi ko pa, tama nga naman.
Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only if that's the let's just skip this. We already saw this. Hold down right click and stuff. Sure. Usually these dialogue after the pressing of the testimony gives you hints in case you're stuck. Unfortunately, this one's pretty hard. Pressing them for more information will just repeat the same dialogue. Looks like all you have left now is to try presenting evidence. No, I already told you, this is you're just repeating stuff now.
Tapos na ba yun?
Yes, we're back at the beginning of the testimony.
Saan na tayo?
Like I said, you gotta try presenting evidence. It contradicts testimony and stuff. Once you find a testimony that has an evidence contradicting to it, you present it and stuff.
Okay.
Pay close attention to the details and see what you think might be wrong.
Parking lot edge.
You can check for more information and stuff.
Check?
Yeah.
Meron pa ba? Wala na.
Yeah, there's still another page.
Ito muna.
Yep,
Ito pala yun?
that's her.
Wala
Yeah,
naman siyang knife na hawak.
I guess so, yes. No matter how little of the detail, a contradiction is a contradiction.
Check. So, kung dito nangyari
There's
yung
even the slightest bit of a hole, you gotta present it.
batayan,
Yeah.
saan siya nagtatago? Kung andito siya. Makikita siya kagad ni Lana. Hindi
Yes.
gagawin ni Lana yung crime kasi makikita mo yung witness, di ba? Talagang siya. Kaya nga.
It is a pretty big place. She did say she was about 30 feet away.
Kaya nga. So, andito lang siya. So, makikita nga siya ni Lana if ever. Kung andoon siya talaga. Hindi na gagawin ni Lana ang crime.
That's like 10 meters.
Ha? Tapos na natin ito, di ba?
Yeah.
Na. Okay, nasa na tayo, Jay?
try to present contradictory evidence to contradictory lines.
Paano?
Alright, I'll do the first one for ya. Alright, she says that she's holding a knife in her hand. But if we look at this picture, she clearly isn't. So, objection! And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But, isn't that odd? Look at this photograph that you just fucking gave us. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? I want to listen to this. Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing.
Kaya nga.
And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat.
Baka tinulungan pa niya si Detective Money.
But it's a black and white photograph. Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea.
Objection? Tapos
Yeah.
na tayo.
Well, it's up to you. What do you think is the best course of action here?
Objection na tayo.
Let's object and bluff. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime, not after. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. She will retestify, in other words. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Oh, you went to the menu.
Huh?
Let's go back. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. It was? This is new info. Premeditated? How do you know?
Oh, yeah. Na pinagplanuhan.
Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made out of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? Will not leave any fingerprints on the murder weapon.
No, bang plantita lang siya na. Baka mga soil yung nasa damit niya. Nagplant lang siya.
If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Arg! Those gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. Alright, there's only one new thing in her testimony. The murder was planned, the rubber gloves prove it. She'd try pressing it as always. But if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves, of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. No, it's not. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Arg! Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Mr. Starr. This is bad. She's got them thinking this was all planned. She can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. Alright, this is the same dialogue, you don't have to read it.
Paano na?
Right click, hold. Alright, so it's only that new testimony. This one should be easier. I already presented the first evidence for you. The next one's all up to you, baby.
Ano na?
Just freaking skip this dialogue and go back to the cross-examination.
Tapos na tayo dyan, di ba?
Yeah. Like I said, you can use the arrows to skip, to go move forward or back in dialogue and stuff. That's the only new part of her testimony.
Tapos na natin yun, di ba?
Yeah. You gotta try presenting evidence. Yeah. You gotta present now, not press. Do you think there's something contradictory in that testimony? If so, show the evidence that proves it.
Present na natin to.
If not, try something else. You think that if you think so, this evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor.
Ulit na natin to.
How exactly are that evidence and that statement related? They aren't, are they? No, they're not. Penalty. You only got 5 penalties. Lose them all and you'll lose the trial. Yep. You gotta show good evidence on good testimony, my boy. If you think it wasn't premeditated, go look at the evidence. Think outside the box. All of that bullshit. Oh. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell box lunches for a living, you know. You got it right. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there. The defendant is the chief prosecutor for district, right? Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony and stop fucking lying under goddamn oath. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Sky planned this murder. If she did plan it, why wear special gloves but not have a murder weapon already planned?
Yeah.
Way to go, mommy. Wait, you mean you didn't know that, but yet you presented the knife anyway? Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning.
Siyempre, yun ang main
However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon. Oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon! Ooh! That was horrible. I could have done that better. Order! Order! Order!
Pa-order! Pa-order!
Great, now the tide is turning to in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory.
Mhm.
Bah! The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there, with her opinions and biases. The defendant Lana Sky murdered a detective with a knife.
So that's it.
That is the only thing the prosecution need prove, nothing else. So what if it wasn't premeditated? Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now? But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. She's still going with that? If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing? I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again.
Okay.
Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought.
Yeah.
How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Alright, here's our next testimony now. We're moving on. We got this. Lana Sky intended to murder Detective Goodman.
Pero ano niya, intention.
That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim.
Ano na naman yan eh.
More conjecture. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's
Paano naman
office.
niya nalaman na sinamon na pinatawag ni chief prosecutor, di ba?
It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So, if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Yan na.
I already see the contradiction, but I'll let you figure it out. I did already play the game, so I'm cheating a bit.
Intended to murder Detective Goodman. Objection! I hold it pa lang.
Yeah, hold it. You've said that, but you haven't told us how you know. That's what I'm about to tell you, rookie. I believe what she just said was a mere prelude to the story she's about to tell. Be patient, Phoenix, right?
Pinakapihan pa rin niya si, ano.
Try not to interrupt her again. Rookie. Never interrupt the storyteller. It's like pulling a bun out of the oven half-baked. Something's half-baked here, alright, and it's you. Try not to confuse the defense, witness. They're not very quick on their feet. Now, why did you believe the suspect had intentions to murder the victim? Her actions speak for themselves.
How? How nga? Paano nga? Paano nyo nalaman na pinatawag?
Be patient. You have no proof that Miss Sky called him there. You have no proof that she didn't. Mr. Edgeworth, thoughts? There's no record of a call made on the defendant, Miss Lana Sky's phone. She might have written him a letter. Come on, you could have tried public phone first at least.
Isa sa letter na naman.
In any case, the victim came to the prosecutor's office where he was murdered. I'm sure he had a reason to be there. Witness? Why do you think it was the suspect who summoned the victim that day? What was the grudge then? Mind clarifying? What kind of grudge?
Kaya nga, paano naman niya nasabi?
Well, I wouldn't know that. Of course you don't. That's because she didn't have a grudge. Rookie. I have a lunchbox here. Now, what's inside? How am I supposed to know? See, we agree there's a lunchbox here, but we don't know what's inside. A person's life is like a lunchbox with pretzels. Don't you agree? I get it. That's why my lunch was so salty. This judge isn't very good with metaphors. The suspect had a grudge against Detective Goodman. Will you tell us your basis for thinking this? It's simple. He was stabbed multiple times. A human machine, that's a contradiction.
Isang beses lang eh.
Please. Can't you find fault with something of substance, Mr. Wright? Note to self, Mr. Edgeworth's sighs smell like citrus fruit. You say again and again? How many times did she stab him exactly? We often say chop into 1,000 pieces, but we don't actually mean 1,000 pieces. What difference does it make if the deed is done?
No, that's important.
She's getting mad at me. Let's just say she stabbed him several times and leave it at that. Leave it at that? This is a murder case, people. Mr. Wright, you should speak up if you have an objection, you know. The stars turned out to be as short-tempered as she will look when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact. From candles. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? You can add more wax and even a really short wick will burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Alright, no new information revealed. It's up to you now.
Well, that's great.
Time to present evidence, yes, in the testimony with contradictions. Look through the court records real good. The answer should be there. You just gotta think.
Record the party.
5:12 p.m. Eh?
Right.
Stop making baseless accusations, my dude. It'll give you penalties.
Ay, ito yun?
Yeah?
Ah,
You got it wrong, bucko. Remember, it's also about the correct testimony you gotta present the evidence to.
mali. Present tayo, di ba?
Yeah. One knife wound. An hour and a half. 4 p.m. Bam, 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 bam. You can always try looking around at the testimony again.
Saan muna tayo?
Try looking through the testimony after you've gotten a good look at the evidence you have.
Death due to loss of blood. One night.
Autopsy reports are usually important.
So yan, present ko to.
At the correct testimony,
Present ko.
if you think that's the correct testimony,
Pag naubos to, game over na.
yep, and our defendant is declared guilty. Now we don't want that.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's always 2 though, so really it's just 5. You only have 3 mistakes left.
Asan na tayo?
You're gonna present that to this testimony?
Yeah.
Alright. If you think that's the correct one.
Napapakala si Mami. Kaya pindot lang ako ng pindot. Hindi ko na monitor to. Sorry.
You got 2 mistakes left now. By the way, you're wrong.
Mali
Just
na
hold
naman.
down right click, yeah. Like I said, you gotta present it on the right testimony. You can't just present evidence willy-nilly.
Dapat maghahanap ako ng dito.
Yes! That's what I keep telling you! Don't worry, you got this.
Hindi yan. Present natin yung call. Diba?
We already talked about during the pressing that there's no evidence that points, so that isn't really much of a definitive
Hindi rin
evidence, wouldn't you agree?
Hindi tam? Hindi tam?
I ain't giving you answers. I'm just here to help. I already played the game, so I'm sort of a cheat. You can't rely on me for answers. This is up to you, man. You gotta prove to people you're smart. Again and again and again.
Dapat pala ibabasa ko sa
Yes.
dito yung ipe-present.
Yes,
Hindi
it's-
pala yung basta lang ako present ng present. Ngayon ko lang nag-guess. Nanas ka intended to murder Detective Goodman. Kung intended, bakit niya iiwan ng ID? Diba?
But they're still not very definitive. You need a little bit more definitive contradictions. No
Record of
baseless
party.
conjecture. One knife wound.
Goodman's Note.
Dun,
Ano ba yun?
dun,
Goodman's
dun,
Note.
dun, dun. We don't know what it means yet, so it can't really be, you know.
Yan.
Yeah, I would think so at least. Wouldn't you agree?
Itong call, wala.
Wala. No, what do you mean wala? Hey, you're cheating by asking me for the answers
Ayan,
now,
ayan.
aren't you?
Present ko yung call?
Huh? Like I said, we already talked about the phone call and stuff. There's nothing decisive there.
Wala.
It's just gonna get you a penalty. Yeah, hold on. Before you proceed any further, let's save so we can just load back if we get a game over.
Pero nga, sana pero sa date mo na ng bago mo ganito. Oo, kawawa naman. I'm sure the chief prosecutor has a judge.
We don't have any evidence that points towards that being true or false yet. Nothing decisive. At least,
Ito, yung autopsy.
the autopsy was created just now for Goodman.
Hindi yan, sa
That
hindi
can't
yan.
exactly be proof for grudges. She says he was stabbed multiple times.
So ito. Present ko yan.
If you think that's the correct evidence that contradicts the testimony, you're close. Very close. But still not quite there. You're hot, very hot. There's something else you can present that's more decisive than the knife.
Something else to grab that human machine to flash the knife again and again.
Dun, 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 dun,
Ito kaya?
dun, dun. What kind of evidence contradicts with that and that testimony?
In time.
I mean, there's no time being said in there.
Dito na lang.
You think so? One knife wound.
Human machine.
There is one knife wound.
Ito nga.
Yeah, well, that's the weapon used. How does that contradict anything?
So ito na sa autopsy.
Wow, I didn't know you overthink things as much as I do. Why don't you just try going for it?
Go.
There can't hurt to try. You still got one mistake left, even if that's wrong. The music stopped. You got it. You say she stabbed him again and again. But you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise. Bruh, I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound, not multiple. Aha! You're right! Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. Hey, it was... What a hunk, he's my hero, really. Hey, but it was Phoenix who did it. What about my objection? No one noticed. Well, witness. You got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify! You're almost there. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. You wanna try pressing for info? Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. Does she now? So she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. Does she really? Do you think she's wearing a scarf? You can always look at the profiles and pictures and stuff. She's right. Miss Guy was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait. Isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest. However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance. Chance for what, I wonder? Nope, we're just repeating dialogue here now. Yeah. Time to show some evidence again. In the correct testimony. There's only one new testimony, so you can rule out everything else right away. Just go to the final testimony line. These are my instincts I've honed. I am telling them to you now. Yep, that's the last one. That's the only one that matters now.
The red muffler, so the picture.
You think?
Wala siyang scarf.
Oh, would you look at that? Ain't that right? So what are you waiting for? Objection! Miss Starr, I demand an explanation.
Huh?
The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim.
Pag natapos natin to.
This is the case we're doing, and we're not doing anything else after this.
Ah, wala na? Last na yan?
This is still just the first day. It's not gonna be over after this.
Hindi nga, may pag natapos natin yan, meron pa tayong mga ibang case.
This is the final case for the first game. The second game comes after with Maggie Bird and stuff.
Ah, so pag natapos nga natin to, wala na?
Yeah. Unless you want to play Apollo Justice or something.
The suspect was on game.
Was not wearing any scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. Hey, Edgeworth, stop stealing our thunder. And you proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be! Only a professional lunch lady would be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life.
Magtinda ng lunch.
Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edward prevails. What was my objection, chop liver? But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red. Really? Well, now where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude. Back to business. What? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. Yeah, we're getting close.
Minsan banda pa niya, ano?
I guess.
Left, right,
Apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind the partition off to her side. Oh yeah, the music's different now. It's more epic sounding. Bam, 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 bam. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot.
Ba, siya pa nag-arrest?
Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile.
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 You are quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra.
Di pa ba tayo matatapos?
And this is the last one, you got this. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks.
Napipikon na si Angel Star.
Very. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. Chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will.
Okay na, ito na.
Yeah, here we go.
Na tayo ulit. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind the partition before.
So where is this partition in the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There's a wall there about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? Dun dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. I don't read them because we already read them back in the witness testimony scene. You just press and press and press. Or not.
Press na tayo.
Yeah, we're still pressing for info unless you think there's already a contradiction somewhere. So Miss Guy tried to run. I'm sorry, my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright. Not as sorry as I am. But she didn't do it! You have to believe me! We already pressed this. Yeah. We're back in the beginning. You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect?
Ay, oo nga, no, may partition na ano eh.
Yeah, there's a fence thingy.
Fence.
And she did say she was 30 feet away.
Mm-mm.
As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time.
Pero may fence.
Maybe you should press her for more details. Yeah, here we go. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here?
Yeah, something like that.
That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Star? Yes, that's right. Hesitation. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course.
How?
Amazing, the cough-up queen and lunch lady athlete, indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. So she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high too. Possible, but not be fast. So how did Miss Kai not get away? Dun 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 dun. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard was her saying the word muffler.
Muffler?
Just that one word, you know, the thing she's wearing around her neck. So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but someone else. Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't see, Miss Star. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order. And so she used her cell phone. Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should of course add this to your testimony. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. And a cell phone updated to the court record. Ooh, the testimony is different.
So it's all how she tied the phone on the wall but had to use herself instead.
Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha! I was going to ask the same thing. I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition.
Paano niya nakita na nagpunta sa phone? Eh may harang nga. Diba?
Then she picked up on the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order.
Paano niya na makikita na nag-fix siya ng telephone?
So you already know what to present, then. So she pulled her
Paano
own
din niya
cell phone
nakita?
out of her pocket.
Kinuha ang cellphone.
And during that time, you climbed over the chain link. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence.
Malito ka na.
Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this? What is it, Mr. Wright? An obvious contradiction, that's what. You should go back to the testimony and present it.
Present na tayo, no?
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Oops.
Di ba yan?
Nope, apparently not. Nah, it's something else. Something more obvious, apparently, I guess. You're on your last leg now. Let me save.
Nasave na natin. Dapat hindi mo na sinave ulit. Para yung babalikan natin yung unang sinave.
It's too
Yung
far
apat
back.
na buhay.
We don't wanna waste dialogue time and stuff. Anyway, there's something else you can press. You're correct. You're close, but you're not quite there. There's something else you can present. How did she... The evidence that proves that she didn't see it all. It's not the phone, but something else.
Parking lot ito.
Yeah.
Diba?
Yeah. Miss Star, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky. We're finally gonna get to hear the music. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You, who together with the chief prosecutor kicked me out 2 years
Ayan
ago.
na, lalabas na yung 2 years ago. Past
Yeah. Well, Miss Star, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cuff it all up. Ahem. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't have possibly seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. Dun, 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 dun. This is the music that plays when you're winning. Warg! Order! Order! What's the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies! That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. What is she lying about? The witness lied about, let's say, first.
Bukas na kaya?
We're almost done. You got this. Let's just finish it.
Kasi mami, nahihilo na ako eh.
Yeah.
The witness lied what she saw.
What she saw, where she saw it, or the order of events. What do you think she's lying about?
What she saw, where she saw it, the order of events. What she saw?
If you say so.
Diba? Ano daw ang pinasinungalingan?
But she did testify very accurately about stuff like the phone and calling and
where
getting
she saw
to
it
her.
Pala, where she saw it, nasa Blackfish eh.
Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order.
Yan yung sinabi ni witness.
What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it. Pointless to lie. I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime?
Inside, nasa set A siya.
Ja, but where in set A? All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place from where Miss Star witnessed this crime was here.
Yeah.
You gotta point to it where you think it is. You gotta drag the mouse around, and when you say, oh, he was actually here in B block, where she said she actually was.
No, andito siya.
Yes, but where in there specifically?
Security room.
Then go click at it. Click it. This is the only place where she could have been. Yeah, you are very correct. You're very good. Apart from the times where you weren't. The security guard room.
Eh kasi nalilito pa ako nung una eh. Hindi mo tinuturo. Mami, ito, dapat ano siya, magkakontra siya dun sa statement dito sa
Ja. I was explaining them. You just...
Explaining straight, but not in particular.
Okay, whatever you say. Security guard room? Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. You can see everything from there. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have been on the phone. Seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness not being part of the prosecutor's office couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here.
Kaya pala W witness, K killer.
Yeah.
Ganon, ha?
Yeah, the security room is the only place where she could see where this is and this is. Because if she was here, she could see here but not here. If she was here, she could see here but not here. Only the security room would allow her to see everything.
Direct sa crime scene talaga, pati dito.
I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Starr, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today a man has got the better of Angel Starr. Nice. Order, order, witness. What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Sky? Now, Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Starr lie? Yeah, I think this thing is still going on for another hour or so. I think we should stop. We should end on a good point though. Hold on. Let's continue until we're on a good spot. Why did Miss Starr lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. Yeah, who took that picture if she was still there? The truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know.
May grudge siya. Asa ba yung picture dito?
She took the picture in here, judging by the fence in the picture. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. Must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? We'll find out what that is in the next episode. For now, we're hungry. Yeah, I am also hungry, so yeah. We should go now. It's 11:45. To be continued.